It was a cold, moonless Friday night when five friends from the University of Phoenix, eager to take a shortcut through the desolate countryside toward Flagstaff, found themselves winding along a narrow, fog-choked path where every tree seemed to lean like a silent sentinel observing their passage, and the air carried the iron tang of rust and damp earth, thick with the oppressive weight of impending dread. Ethan, the cautious and methodical driver, gripped the steering wheel of the aging black SUV with a nervous intensity, his eyes darting across the mist-shrouded road ahead, while Chloe, seemingly unconcerned yet tense beneath the surface, sat beside him with her dead phone in hand, scrolling futilely through its lifeless screen as if trying to draw some comfort from its unresponsive glow. And in the back, Marcus, Sarah, and Dylan bickered quietly, their voices a fragile tether to normalcy that seemed to vanish the moment the GPS glitched, flickering madly and then disappearing altogether, leaving them blind and vulnerable to the encroaching fog. It was then that Ethan spotted a weathered, rusted sign, barely legible, declaring Ravenhill Junction, 2 miles. Ahead, and without hesitation, he turned onto the narrow path, the SUV's tires crunching on gravel that echoed unnaturally into the silent night, each shadow cast by the skeletal trees twisting and stretching as though reaching for them. And the abandoned station came into view, frozen in time, with broken windows flapping softly in the wind, lanterns flickering like dying hearts, and an eerie hum emanating from the tracks that vibrated through the air and settled uncomfortably into their bones. Sarah whispered, her voice trembling, "This place feels wrong." But Dylan, with a mixture of bravado and ignorance, laughed, insisting, "Perfect for a TikTok horror short," stepping forward onto the platform where their footsteps echoed unnaturally through the thick fog as if the night itself were listening. And then, without warning, a crackling voice erupted from an old speaker, announcing, "Train to nowhere arriving in 5 minutes." And Ethan frowned, his heart pounding, remembering that no train had run here since 1989. The waiting room inside was worse, a mold-stained nightmare of peeling wallpaper, a dusty clock frozen in time, and a torn newspaper headline screaming, "Ravenhill train disaster, 47 missing, no survivors." And before they could process the grim revelation, the ground beneath them shuddered and two dim headlights pierced the fog, revealing a black, rusted train numbered 47A, moving impossibly without rails making sound, screeching to a halt with a metallic shriek that reverberated through their chests, its doors sliding open to reveal empty seats covered in dust, an invitation to a nightmare that none could resist. Ethan, compelled by a mixture of fear and curiosity, stepped aboard, muttering, "I'll just check it out," as the others followed reluctantly, their unease tangible, and the windows displayed nothing but an infinite black void. No reflection, no trees, only darkness that seemed to consume their courage. Suddenly, a dim light flickered at the far end of the car, revealing a conductor whose hollow red eyes bored into their souls. And as the doors slammed shut behind them, the train lurched forward with unnatural speed, leaving the ground behind, replaced by a void so complete it swallowed sound and light alike, while a distorted, disembodied voice announced, "All passengers to nowhere, please remain seated," and Marcus's ticket stub transformed before his eyes, reading ominously, "Seat 5, fare paid in blood." Ghostly passengers emerged silently from the shadows, pale and whispering without sound, one touching Sarah's arm, turning her skin gray with a chill that seemed to burn from within, and Ethan pulled her away, shouting warnings as they ran through the endless cars, chased by shadowy faces with twisted expressions and eyes that reflected nothing but malice. In the front compartment, the conductor reappeared, his grin revealing broken, jagged teeth, rasping, "You shouldn't have boarded. The dead don't like company," and the lights extinguished, returning to reveal Dylan missing, his cracked phone still recording static that hissed and groaned like the lament of trapped souls. Panic rose, adrenaline spiking as they entered another car that seemed normal, bright and filled with silent passengers reading newspapers. But Chloe's innocent question, "Where does this train go?" was met with a hollow-eyed woman whispering, "Home." And in that instant, all passengers turned, mouths frozen in silent screams, and Marcus vanished instantly as he began to pray, leaving only his burned jacket behind. The train accelerated, the windows flashing graveyards, distorted faces, and spectral visions, as the voice announced, "Next stop, Ravenhill Cemetery," and tombstones appeared outside, glowing with the names of Dylan Brooks, Marcus Hale, Sarah Lynn, Chloe Barnes, and Ethan Cole, sending a shiver of premonition through them as the train screeched to a halt, doors opening to a misty graveyard, invisible hands dragging Sarah away as Ethan tried to follow, only to be stopped by Chloe, who wept, her face pale, whispering, "No one leaves without paying their fare." And the skeletal conductor smiled, revealing a rusted coin with Ethan's initials that burned his pocket, the token of a debt already claimed. As Ethan hurled the coin, desperate to reclaim their freedom, Chloe vanished, leaving only her haunting whisper, "Ethan!" And alone, he ran through the flickering, blurred cars filled with corpses and shadows, entering the engine room where the controls moved with a life of their own. Gauges spinning wildly, the window ahead showing a tunnel of screaming faces. The conductor behind him murmuring, "You were invited the moment you saw the sign." And Ethan demanded, "What are you?" Receiving the chilling reply, "We are what remains when no one remembers, the lost ride, the forgotten journey." As the train derailed, sparks flying, screams filling the night, and Ethan was hurled into the dirt, awakening among tombstones with the train vanished, his name etched upon one, Ethan Cole, 1999 to 2024, his hands fading, a panic-stricken realization that he might already be part of the spectral journey. Footsteps approached, Chloe, pale and distant, smiling, "You made it." And behind her, Marcus, Dylan, and Sarah, faces hollow yet familiar, whispering, "It's over, Ethan." But his body shimmered like smoke as the whistle sounded again, the conductor lantern in hand declaring, "All passengers accounted for. Train 47A departs in 5 minutes." And Ethan watched his friends disappear into the mist, whispering, "Chloe, wait," only to hear her distant comforting reply, "You'll find peace, Ethan." And as the ghostly train reappeared, doors opening silently, Ethan stepped aboard, surrendering to the inevitable, whispering, "If I'm already dead, maybe peace is all that's left." As the doors closed and vanished into the fog, leaving behind only the echo of the whistle and the deserted SUV 2 weeks later, its headlights flickering, keys in ignition, 5 cracked phones on the seats, and the last video ending with the haunting sound of a train whistle and a whisper, "Next stop, nowhere." a lingering promise of the lost, forgotten, and the horrors of a journey that never truly ends.